Hey, what's up everybody? So for today we will be exploring Blanca Lake, which is located in the North Cascade region in the state of Washington. Before we start talking about the trail itself, let's go ahead and just talk about the direction of getting here. For the most part, it's a pretty simple and self-explanatory drive. You basically put in the address for Blanca Lake trailhead on your Google Maps or just, your typical GPS, and it should pretty much tell you how to get here. But in case it doesn't, you're basically going to want to go ahead and take the Index Highway 2. You can look for a Forest Service Road 65, make a left, and you're going to go about 10 to 12 miles before you hit Forest Service Road 63, and from there you're just going to make your way all the way up. So once you make your way up towards Forest Service Road 63, you're going to want to basically go ahead and park along the side of the road. So depending on what time you guys actually get here, for me and my girlfriend, or fiance now guys, fiance, I can actually say that. And one thing you're going to notice is that if you go online, depending on if you go to the All Trails website or the WTA website, there's going to be a warning sign saying that the road is washed out, which actually it is. And the road, the washout is going to basically be, it's going to basically be about 0.2 to 0.3 from the actual trailhead itself. So just go ahead and find a spot, park, cross over this rocky path, and make your way. So without further ado, let's go ahead and explore Blanca Lake. Hiking Blanca Lake is going to be a challenge, but I can say that the view is going to be a rewarding experience to one of the many glacier hikes here in Washington State. Now, according to the Washington Trail Association or the All Trails website, the distance to get to the trailhead is going to be about 8 miles with an elevation gain of about 3,400 feet. So when you take a look, they do have a bathroom stall right at the trailhead, but unfortunately it's closed, likely due to the road washout and being unable to properly service the bathroom. If you look at a brief description of the hike, it can provide you some basic information for the trail. There is camping allowed at Virgin Lake, which is about 1 mile to Blanca Lake, and you'll notice some of these backpacking spots when you're making your way up towards the trail. Now, for the most part, the hike is pretty self-explanatory. Just make your way up through all of the switchbacks and hope you're ready for leg day, because your calves and quads are definitely going to be feeling it at the end of the day. Once you reach the semi-summit point of the mountain, you're going to get a beautiful view of Glacier Peak as well as Beckler Peak and other mountains in the Cascade region. If you haven't taken a look at some of my hikes of Beckler Peak, definitely give that a watch. It's a beautiful hike that gives you a gorgeous summit view of the various mountains in the area. And once you start getting close to Virgin Lake, you're going to start noticing mosquitoes. Now, unless you have a fetish for mosquito bites, it would be a good idea to get some mosquito repellent or wear some appropriate clothing, because they will come and get you. So, after you pass Virgin Lake, you got about 1 more mile to go before you hit Blanca Lake. So I hope you're prepared for some downhill descending, because that's what you're going to be getting. But once you do, you're going to be greeted with a fantastic turquoise blue of Blanca Lake. Hey guys, so we finally made it to Blanca Lake, and I have to say, it isn't just awesome, it's so majestic, it's so beautiful. And honestly, looking at the pictures, I guess it doesn't do it justice, because typical lake hikes, we've done things like Lake 22, Heather Lake, whatever other lakes we've done in the past couple of years now. And again, this reminds me of Moraine Lake over at Canada near Banff, which actually we're going to be doing in the wintertime, so look out for that video in the next couple of months. But anyways, simply gorgeous, beautiful turquoise, I assume it's turquoise color. Anyways, let's just kind of summarize the hike. The hike took us about 2.5 hours, so we started at about 2:40, and again, it's summertime here in Washington, so it doesn't necessarily get dark until about 9 to 10 o'clock even, so we weren't really too concerned about the time as far as like it getting dark when we come back. And one of the reasons why I highly recommend coming here's the thing, coming really, really early so you find a nice good parking spot, or come later in the daytime where you don't really have to worry about trying to find parking, because by the time you arrive at the parking lot around 1:30, 2 o'clock, most of the people have already left, so there should be a nice ample amount of parking for pretty much everyone to enjoy without really having to worry about any of that. And I do want to say, as of right now, July, towards the end, there are still some levels of snow, but for the most part, it's like the last 2% before you really get to the lake. There are some areas where you could actually still make your way down towards, I guess the shoreline of the lake itself, but we didn't really want to go ahead and do that. At this point, good enough. We have a nice, clear, beautiful view of Blanca Lake. So of course we're gonna hang out here for a little bit and just do as tradition, take a little bite. I've had some snacks, have some drinks, and just kind of enjoy before we start making our way back. And I just want to say, you know, initially when I was coming up and doing this hike, I was like, this hike better be worth it. Because for the most part, so if you look at the All Trails website, if you look at the WTA website, it is categorized as hard, and you will definitely feel the strain. You know, pretty much when you start the trail, you know, literally where it says Blanca trail hike, it just basically climbs and climbs and climbs. Again, if you look at the description of the hike, it's I think is give or take 8 miles round trip hike. I have to double check that. 8 miles round trip with an elevation gain of about 3,800 feet. So if you think about it, you're doing 1,000 foot per mile, and you will definitely feel that on the way up here. So obviously dress cool enough, but also dress warmly enough, because once you get to this part of the lake, it is a little bit sunny, but also a little bit of a breeze, which can be a little bit chilly. So just obviously dress for the typical conditions you may expect. Bring obviously plenty of water, plenty of food, and just enjoy and just really bask and take in this awesome, beautiful lake. So anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. And you know, it's been a while since I've done a video, mainly just because of how busy I am. I am almost done with my computer science degree, so working a full-time job plus going on, you know, doing online schooling to get, you know, do a little bit of a career change in the future has taken up a lot of my time on the weekend. So I haven't really had a chance to do a lot of the hikes and all that, so on and so forth. So anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys in my next adventure. Thanks a lot.